So we are just going to go ahead and dive right in. Like I said, thank you guys for joining me this morning. I do want to focus on today just being able to highlight some of our features for some of the industries that we're best in. I know that we really haven't been able to connect too much, just trying to get everybody back from COVID, everyone traveling, and just getting this quarter started out right in the new year. So today, outside of focusing on some highlighted things for each industry that we're in, we're really going to focus on liquor stores, convenience stores, vape shops, and some franchise features that we have. And then we're definitely going to highlight some ticketing industry features. I don't think a lot of people believe that we're in the ticketing space, but we do have some big customers out there that have our systems, our softwares all in there, and they've been able to transform their company just with what we can provide. And then after we hit all of those industries, we're definitely going to have room for any type of questions. And then we're also going to talk about a little bit of the closing remarks as well. Okay. So folks, we're going to target liquor stores. I don't know if many of you guys know, but about 75% of our customers are going to be liquor stores. We do have a lot of liquor stores that are either multi-locational or just the mom and pop small shops as well. One for me, I think liquor stores have been our biggest customer right now just because of inventory management. With our inventory management, we make it very easy for all of the liquor stores with over 1,000 to, I would say, 1,000,000 products. We're able to have that order optimization and order receiving that's going to benefit their companies. When I say order optimization, that's going to be one thing that we focus on when it comes to allowing that business owner to have minimum levels, maximum levels, and reorder levels. I think that's one thing that actually transform inventory just because they do not have to focus on having to go into the system every single day to see exactly what stocks are low or what they need to go ahead and restock, or even having too much stock on one product. We kind of try to make that a lot easier for them so that they can focus more on what's going great in their store. And we'll give them the tools to make sure what's not going great is already going to be facilitated on that dashboard. Now, with the ordering and receiving side of that, it's a lot easier as well because our system is going to be the hub of that. We're going to track all of their vendors. We're going to allow them to have products associated to their vendors. And then they're going to have documentation of every order and receiving that they've done. So if they have one vendor, great, we can definitely manage that, no problem. But with wholesale, there's going to be about 10 to 100 different vendors they go to just based on who's having the best sale for that week. So we're going to be able to actually track that and make sure that everything is ran properly and they're able to document that and also go back and see exactly how much they're selling or how much they're receiving based off of cost, what needs to be updated, what needs to be, adjusted. All of that's something that they're going to be able to find in that back office as well. And then the next thing on that is going to be pricing and promotions. When it comes to pricing and promotions, I personally feel like our system is one of the best with this. We do a lot of immediate discounts that are going to help these business owners, whether it just be for products or grouping of products. We allow them to have as many different promotions as possible. We're going to allow them to have promotions to where it could be based off of a customer group as well, or just a specific customer. Liquor stores and wineries definitely deal a lot with wholesale or having, wine tastings or, selling to bars. We're going to be able to implement that to where those promotions are going to be privy to that either establishment, that customer, or even to Wine Wednesdays or happy hour times. We're going to help them so that cashier does not have to be too overloaded with, oh, I don't remember what this discount is today, or I don't remember what's going on for this time frame. Our system is going to help them with that. And then also with our promotions and pricing, because we have an open API and we're fully integrated to other partners, these bottle caps, Drizzly, and City Hive promotions that are already created or implemented across omni channels is something that they're not going to have to maintain either. Our system with the full integration is going to be able to transact all of these products alongside with the pricing that they want for these platforms as well. So it's more so a click of a button and more so something to where it's not going to be too convoluted or too overwhelming for them to maintain. the partnership that we've created with all of these establishments are going to allow them to kind of just feel like they have an all-in-one package, and they're going to get a lot more value based off of just what they have in our system. It's automatically going to connect to all these other systems that we work with as well. Okay. And then also with the liquor store, I would say our customer loyalty is going to be one thing. I think everyone has a loyalty program that can be kind of basic, but with ours, it is on the basic side as well. So since we are cloud based, we're going to give them the ability to be able to have as many customers and as many programs, as many loyalty programs as possible. One of the basic ones is going to be that bonus point loyalty program that everyone has. You know, they can establish it to where they can have different levels of customers and they can have different bonus point programs for those customers. And they're able to track that reward, track exactly what the regular customers are purchasing throughout the weeks or throughout the quarters to kind of push more promotions based off of their customers' profile. And then with that, we also have another integration with Be Loyal. I think if you guys have went through our basic demonstration, you guys are able to see kind of where that integration with Be Loyal comes into play. But anything that we do not have in our system that some of these customers are looking for, they're definitely able to establish with Be Loyal. And because of our relationship with Be Loyal, it's a lot easier for them to kind of get that all in one package as well too. So when it comes to the liquor stores and the wineries, we have everything that they're honestly looking for when it comes to the inventory, the promotions, and the loyalty. That's number one in that industry. And then even with the wineries, because there's different departments, you have that wine cellar place where they're selling all of the bottles. You can have promotions on those bottles. And then you have the wine tastings where you are able to have different tasting events, different programs for all of your loyalty customers. And then you're also able to have just that basic, you know, face-to-face customer transaction that's also going to be seamless. If anyone does have any type of e-commerce, we're definitely here for that as well with the WooCommerce. If they already have their established website, we can go ahead and connect the two. But if they're looking to kind of dive a little bit more deeper into the bottle caps or the City Hive and Drizzly, we definitely can facilitate that as well. Okay, that's where the liquor stores and wineries are looking for us. The next thing is also we do have these marketing slips in our resource drives for you guys. I really push this resource drive for you guys to be able to implement and kind of give out to your customers because without you guys needing to know everything within our system, these slips are going to definitely provide you guys the information to have talking points, but it's also going to provide collateral to these customers. Honestly, in my experience, being able to give out collateral is very helpful just so that they have something tangible to go back to and be able to say, oh, okay, I know he said something about bottle caps, or I know he said something about order level optimization. What is that really going to look like for this industry? So this link here is just going to show you a little preview of that. Order level optimization, the handheld inventory tracking that we also have as well too. In this industry, the handheld inventory tracking is going to be something that they're going to love and respect just because it's going to take more time for them to actually be in their company other than trying to run their inventory and making sure everything is up to date. This inventory tracking that we have, a scan of a barcode, is just going to update everything that's needed to be updated. Okay. Also, it kind of goes a little bit more. This split for you guys is going to go a little bit more into that pricing and promotions that we spoke of, but it's also going to let them know about the purchase orders when it does come to their vendors and their suppliers. And then it's going to give them a little bit more details into that employee permissions. So if they do not want some of their cashiers to have certain access, this is going to just shed a light on that too, so that that is at the top of their mind as well. Anything that we have within the liquor stores or any industry, just because our package is fully customizable with any industry, the reporting is going to always be something that you guys should hit on for these business owners, because that's going to be honestly one of the first things that they're going to ask you. What is the reporting like? Can I report? Can I pull reports? Is it going to be real time reports? How am I going to access these reports? That's something that Corona is going to do for you guys, just because we do have about 50 to 70 different reports. Honestly, I think everyone's heard me say there's so many reports that I don't even know all of what all of them are. but they're great to have for them. So anytime they're like, okay, I want to pull this report just because I need to put this into a tax establishment, or I need to be able to send this off to someone so that I can get more insight of what my products are doing. We have that reporting for them that they're going to be able to kind of, establish a little bit more on how to move forward with their company. Okay. And then also this order level optimization is going to give them stock notifications as well. So you guys are definitely going to be able to say, hey, those dashboards that you guys have, it's going to focus on real-time information with your stock. So it's going to let them know exactly which stock is going low. It's going to let them know which stock they've just ordered too much on. They're going to let them know everything when it comes to that so that they don't actually have to dive a little bit more deeper into their stock values or stock expenses. Our dashboards are going to provide them widgets to actually give them access to that. So it's a lot easier, ease of use, and all of that information is going to be coming directly from what is going on in their store. Alongside that, we do have franchise features when it comes to liquor stores. The franchise is going to be something that we're going to tie a little bit into a little bit later. The franchise is something when it comes to your bigger customers. If someone has 3 to 4 different locations, it's not going to be too privy to them. But if you are dealing with a customer that has 10 to 15 different locations or different ownerships within these locations, our franchise features are going to definitely be something that they want to see. That's when it comes into commissions, it comes into separate inventory. All of that is going to be into one umbrella for them. That's not going to be something that other competitors are going to be able to provide for them. We're not going to make it any harder than what it is with just setting up a one store location. If it is 10 to 15s, we're going to be able to implement that for them, and it's going to be a lot easier to do. Okay. And then the next thing would be our customer support. With our competitors, a lot of customer support or technical support is going to be off fees. Liquor stores are something that either they're going to call first thing in the morning or, late at night as soon as their store is closing. If they call us, chat with us, or even email with us, they're going to get someone that's going to be able to assist, log into their system, and actually talk with them and guide them through some of those issues and do any type of troubleshooting. And that's always going to be free of charge. Any support that they receive from us is always going to be free of charge, and it's going to be someone that actually is going to be looking at their account, not a dummy account or not something where they're looking at a script. We're going to be here for them. Being stationed in Las Vegas makes it a little bit easier too for us to go ahead and connect with these customers because it's sunshine. You can't be upset when there's sunshine. We're definitely going to be able to help them with a smile on our face. So that's always a good thing to kind of voice to them as well too. Okay. The next thing we're going to focus on is our C stores, our convenience stores. This industry here is going to be more so on the mom and pop side of things. Now, when it does come to convenience stores, a lot of people think that it's mom and pops or that they're not too focused on anything other than, the chips and the pops and things like that. But it can be more established. It can have, the lottery tickets involved. It can have a lot of loyalty features that they would like to provide for their customers. If that is the case, that's something that we can also take on as well. They're definitely going to have a lot of promotion options, and they're definitely going to be able to get the same reporting features that the liquor stores and wineries are going to have as well. Focusing on this marketing slick that we also have in the resource drive as well for you guys. One thing that you're first going to be able to tell them is that loyalty. The loyalty is still going to be something that Be Loyal can establish for them, but our basic loyalty is still going to give them the programs of having bonus points, promotions of, buy two, get one free, buy two, get $2. All of that is something that we're going to be implementing. Along with if they do have gift cards, we can also do that as well too. If there's gift receipts, that's something that we can also help them make it to where it's a lot more automatic and a lot more ease to use for the customers. And that also ties into the promotions, the special promotions that I was just speaking of, the buy two, get two free. Cashiers shouldn't have to worry about actually knowing what's going on per day. That system should definitely be able to trigger things for them so that all they can focus on is having that relationship with the customer. So our system is going to be able to do that for them. Also, with the convenience stores, one thing that's also great is that we do have that time tracking feature on there for them. So if it is either a mom or pop or they do have 10 employees, time tracking is going to be very easy for them. As soon as you log into that screen, you're going to be able to clock in or clock out. And that business owner is going to be able to see exactly who's working, who's not working, who's on break. They're going to be able to see who's selling the most. If there is any, I would say, discrepancies on receipts, that business owner is going to be able to pull that up in the back office and be able to manage their store. And they do not have to hover over their cashiers to actually know that information. So that's always going to be great for you guys to focus on as well too. Now getting into the reporting side of things, this is going to kind of be similar to the wine and the liquor store industry. The reporting for them is also going to be, I would say, priority, but it's going to be a little off to the side. Their reporting is more so going to be basic on, what products are being sent out, what products they are receiving, but it's also going to be based off of taxes. We have so many different taxing reports that they can pull from, and it's also going to be end of day statements. If they do decide to go into, the advanced package with us, we always can tell them we can automate some of these reports so that they don't actually have to rely on someone to pull that. The end of day statement can automatically be pulled at a specific time to where if they're not in the store, if they're not the ones pulling it, everyone can go ahead and get sent this report at 9:30 if their store closes at 9. It allows them not to have too much responsibility on the workers so that they can know that exactly what's going on with their store and not feel like they're missing out on information at all. Also similar to the liquor store and the wineries, that order optimization is going to be something that they're going to love as well. That reorder level and that maximum level is something that a lot of these business owners haven't really had too much experience with our competitors. So being able to voice this to them to let them know every single product that you have, you're able to go ahead and put these levels on to where this dashboard is going to let you know exactly when you need to go ahead and order. This dashboard is going to allow them to go ahead and create these orders with their vendors. So all they have to do is go in there and say, okay, yep, I need this, I need that. Let me go ahead and add this just because I know I just sold a lot of this. And it's easy. 10 seconds for them to go ahead and order from their vendors and make sure that everything is coming in and leaving the way that it needs to. Okay. Now, another one that a lot of people don't really get into, or it's kind of just coming into the space of being able to feel comfortable with selling to these customers, are going to be the vape shops and the smoke shops. Now, these shops are not going to be your CBD stores or, the marijuana shops. We're just going to focus on the glassware and the tobacco industry. This industry for us has really been growing within the last year or two. I think one of the main reasons is that a lot of these stores have a lot of inventory, whether it comes to just different sizing of their glassware, different options on, the hookah vapes, the hookah materials. A lot of people are starting to see that Corona is going to be able to maintain that inventory the way that's needed. Now, yes, a lot of these stores aren't actually going into the wholesale space and getting all of their products from different, companies or establishments. But with what they do have, they're starting businesses with 5,000 items of inventory. And we're going to be able to help them with that. We're going to be able to go ahead and implement all of that in via making sure that that product list is uploaded and they're able to go in there and group all of these glasswares into one department, or they're able to group different things based off of the sizing or the colors or whatever the case may be, to make it to where they're not feeling like, yes, their inventory is overwhelming, but actually managing that inventory is not going to be. Also focusing on smoke shops, the customization comes into play. Customizations for these shops, because they are a customized industry, being able to let them know that they're going to have free range and free customizations with whether it's going to be the button layout or how they're pulling the reporting or what the case may be. That's going to be one of the main things that you guys would want to go into these customers' establishments to let them know. Personally, for me, there's not one vape shop that looks the same. There's not one smoke shop that looks the same. So you have to go into these establishments with that understanding of, you're not like anyone else, and the system that I'm giving you is not going to be like anyone else at all. So with that, tell them, if you want something that's going to be customized on one system that's going to be completely different than the station that's on the other side of the store, we have that for you. If you want to make it to where it's as simple as possible, you need one button and you're going to provide, different pricing no matter what that receipt's going to look like, tell that to them. They're going to be able to understand the difference and understand how they're going to be taking our system and customizing it into their business. And also with that, a lot of people don't understand as well too. If you go into vape shops, you don't see price tags on their shelf. Their price tags are going to be established on every item that they have, whether it's just one of those old school sticker printouts, $9.99, $4.99, whatever the case may be. We're going to provide them that label creation to where it can make their business look a little bit more up class. They're going to look more established, and they're going to be able to do that from our system. So that's definitely two things that you can go in them and have the conversation. Start the conversation with how customizable do you want your business to look? How customizable do you want your system to be to implement that business? And do you want your system or you want your establishment to look up class? We have different features that are going to allow them to put themselves on a different playing field with everyone else that's in their city. And focusing on that, this is also going to be the marketing slick that you guys are going to be able to find in our resource drive as well. Outside of talking about customization, one of the first things that you guys can let them know is the speedy checkout. These vape shops and smoke shops, they're looking at customers that are coming in and out. So they're going to need to have a system that's going to either be very reliable when it comes to internet connection, very reliable when it says, okay, my cashier probably doesn't know everything that we're selling, but this screen is going to allow them to know exactly what we're selling, and it's going to make it a lot easier for them to create transactions, total out transactions, and not allow inventory to be missing or anything like that. That speedy transaction is going to be secured, going to be customized, and they're going to be able to help as many customers as needed. Okay. And as we speak of this inventory, like I said, it's going to be so customizable for them. They're going to be able to have as many different products as needed. So if it's something to where they have a customized product, where it's something they're creating, they're still going to be able to provide either a barcode or an open button to price it whenever they want to price it. All of that is something that the system is going to have, and it's something that you guys should focus on when you're having these conversations. And also, like I said, that customized screen. We do not have any basic custom screens. So one, when it comes to them deciding how many buttons do you want on this screen? Is this screen closer to a different inventory than across the store? Specifically for me, there's a smoke shop in Vegas that they have two different locations. They're in the same exact marketing or same exact shopping center. One of them is going to just be focused on the smoking materials, and then another one is going to be focused on all of the hookah. So that screen that they have, you can literally show them exactly what, hey, you are in the smoking establishment. Make sure that all the inventory for this is going to show exactly what that is. Make sure it's easier for the cashier to click through some things. Make sure, that button layout is going to be easier for anyone that's just starting today is going to feel like they're comfortable enough to sell to the customers. Okay. Also with that label creation, it just takes representation. If they're able to show these products with, a viable and upscale label, it's going to connect with their customers a lot more. So being able to tell them and focus with them to say, hey, how do you want your business to look? Do you want it to look like, it's a startup, or do you want to look like you're more established and these customers should trust what you're providing them? Label creations can do that. It's all about representation. And then we hit on again with the minimum and maximum levels. Personally, for me, I don't think vape shops really have this feature too much, just because there's so many different products that they're selling, whether it's seasonal or it's long term. The min and maximum levels aren't going to be too much that you guys have to focus on, but it is definitely nice to let them know. And that's going to be something that they're going to appreciate if they do decide to go to multiple locations, or if they're deciding, okay, I do need to have this just because I know exactly what I'm going to be selling this year. My offerings aren't going to change for a long time, so this is going to be beneficial. I mean, that definitely ties into the vendor relationship as well. They're going to be able to say, okay, this vendor that I'm ordering from, they're changing their prices every week and I don't want this vendor anymore. Or, this vendor is actually providing me a lot more. They're more responsive. They're going to be able to track that in the back office. Okay. And then also with the multiple locations, if they do decide to, venture out and manage more, they're definitely going to have the option to do that. And because of that, our system is going to be able to manage that all in one back office. So that is something that in the industry that you're in, going into the customer and letting them know that they say, hey, I have 2 locations, I'm planning to expand. Corona should be the place that they're looking at first. A lot of companies that are competitors, they're going to charge an arm and a leg just for them to have that feature. And with us, they're going to say, oh, wow, it's a lot cheaper and I'm getting a lot more features with that. And I'm going to be able to have more range and more manage when it does come to extending out. And I have that dream and I have that option to do that. Okay. And speaking of multi locations, this is where we're going to focus on the franchising. Franchising for us is going to be one thing that I think it is something that we're growing and expanding on as well. And more so just because a lot of people just feel like multi location is not so much franchise, which it can be. Franchising for us is just going to allow them to have that head option operation, sorry, their head office op- operation. Too early for me. But with that, they're going to be able to have that one franchise person that's going to be able to manage all the 10. Whether it is, a team of people that are going to be able to manage as many different locations as possible, they're going to be able to do that. And it's all going to be from one back office. Everyone can have their own login system to that, and they're going to be able to depict and see exactly what's needed per each location. So they're actually going to be able to have real-time views of their sales. They're going to be able to pull reporting, whether a sale was created 5 minutes ago to 10 seconds ago. They're going to be able to see that in the back office. They're going to be able to also manage all of that inventory based off of what they don't want certain locations to sell, what they do want, or even ordering for all of those locations. They definitely can manage that in one back office. Also, with the permissions, just like I was saying with the head office, they're going to be able to divvy down all the permissions based off of the users and the cashiers from one point of sale system or one back office. That's something that is very viable to a lot of these franchise owners. Anything that the head office is going to divvy down to all of these different locations, these locations are going to have to apply to or abide by, and there's not going to be any security differences from that. So everything that is going to be provided by that head office, they're going to be able to have free range to say exactly how they want their company to run, and everyone connected to it is going to have to run the same way. Okay. And also a nice thing with our system is that we're going to be able to have cross-store loyalty. That's one thing that a lot of people ask questions about. When it comes to the promotions and the loyalty, if one customer comes into one location and then 2 days later they're closer to another one, everyone is still going to be able to pull up the same information for that customer. They're going to be able to provide the same promotions, and they're also going to be able to retrieve any type of gift cards or vouchers. As long as that's established in the head office, everyone that's associated to them are definitely going to be able to use those same benefits. And then this is going to be part of that flick that's going to be in the resource drive for you guys. Outside of speaking of those 2 features, it's great to let them know, hey, it's very easy of use for a head owner. The head owner is not going to feel too overwhelmed. Automatically dealing with franchises is going to be a lot of work. So either that head owner or the team is going to be able to focus on specific things per every time they're in that back office. So whether they're looking at all the inventory that they're going to divvy down to all the locations, whether they're trying to pull all the reportings based off of either a location or the whole company, it's going to be very easy for them to manage and easy for them to divvy out. Okay. And then the cost for us is going to be a lot easier for them. It's going to be something to where it's not going to be sticker shock. Now, the time frame to get everything set up may take a little bit longer just because there's too many locations or, getting that inventory to say, hey, only one region is selling this amount of products or selling this brand of products while the other locations are doing this. That's going to take a little bit of time, but with our team here, they're definitely going to be able to get the help that's needed. Also, because it is a cloud-based system, it all can be done remotely. So if they are running their business throughout the day, they can definitely go home, have some food, eat dinner with their family, and then continue to work and make sure everything is set up the way that's needed. And then with this, it's going to be something that's able to be divvied out throughout all of the locations. So whether they want to start with all locations at once to go ahead and implement Corona, and they can, or if they do want to have like a test location and say, hey, we're just going to focus on this location first. We're going to see how that runs and start, implementing this system throughout the year. We definitely can work with them with that. We're not going to force them to say, hey, you decided to go with us. Everything needs to go right now. We're going to allow them to have a customized roadmap to make sure that they're comfortable with putting in our system and make sure they're comfortable with learning our features so that everyone in their establishment is going to feel like more respectful and more, honoring of actually learning something new. So we're going to be here to manage that as well. And then it's also going to show them the structure. If they do have a team that they're working with at the head office and divvying it down to, the VPs, the seniors, whatever the case may be, if it is a larger company, we are going to have the respect of that and we're going to work with each level as the same way. We're going to make sure that everyone understands the features and is learned properly so that they're also feeling like, okay, this is an upgrade to our business and this is something that we're going to be able to value and everyone's going to be able to learn and it's not going to be too hard to implement. Okay. And then that last thing that you guys can always focus on is the promotions and loyalty program. This is something that Be Loyal is going to be able to manage as well too with the help of us. They're going to be able to have more of a customized system when it comes to loyalty to where their customers are feeling like they have a different special relationship with this company. And we're going to help them through that. We're going to actually give them ideas, how many meetings are needed. We're going to work with Be Loyal to make sure the integration is what they would like. Or if there's something else that needs to be created, we're also going to work with Be Loyal to make sure that that is taken care of with them. Okay. And then, kind of like I was speaking of that inventory management, you're able to divvy down what inventory each franchisee is allowed to have. Or if you don't want your franchisees to order anything for that company and you're the only one doing that, you can make that restriction. You can create all of their stock orders. Stock orders can only be, confirmed by you if you would like that to be happening. It's as customizable as they need it to be. Whether they would like to be all hands on with their franchises, they definitely can. If they want to, allow more permission to these franchisee owners, they definitely can do that too. This system is as customizable for franchisees than any of our competitors, and they're going to see that once they kind of learn a little bit more about how we can set these up to make sure that they're as successful as possible. Okay. And that's where it also comes into that order portal. We have different portals for franchisees than we do our normal basic customers with multiple locations. This is definitely going to help them with being able to see exactly who's logging in, who's logging out, who's actually doing something with reporting, who's changing any type of inventory. We're going to be able to help them manage that. Okay. And this ticketing is actually my favorite industry when it comes to our point of sale system. Ticketing for me is going to be something that I feel like we're honestly the head hitters with. We definitely take the ticketing world into a different space from our point of sale system, just because we're not the grandfathered old system. It's going to look a lot more modern when you guys look at our system compared to the others, and it's a lot cheaper. A lot of the ticketing industry point of sales out there are charging per ticket, and we don't do that. Our system is still going to be per license, and it's still going to allow them to have as customized of an option as needed. So with the ticketing space, we're definitely able to have the walk-up customers to enjoy any type of general admissions establishment, but they're also able to connect to e-commerce. So if someone does purchase anything online, we're able to take that ticket and either scan that barcode. We have QR scanners, or they can just go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go to a turnstile and say I have my ticket and walk right into the establishment to where the cashier doesn't even have to interact with them. We're going to make sure that this ticketing space is a lot more modern, a lot less expensive, and it's still going to have features that everyone is so excited about today. Outside of that, they're definitely able to have the multiple location as well. So they're definitely able to have ticketing per experiences or ticketing per, I would say, water parks and your amusement parks. You can definitely have two different establishments for that, two different customized systems for that. You're going to be able to have membership packages, gift shops. You're going to be able to have all of that in one back office. We do have establishments now, sorry guys, that allow you to have a ticketing space. You're allowed to have that gift shop. If you do have food service in there, you're definitely able to serve them as well. And it's all in one system. You're still all able to pull all the reporting. You're able to customize every station that you have, and it's going to be all one hub for these establishments. And then also, I'm saying it's more modernized just for the software, but the hardware that we provide is also going to make their whole establishment look a little bit more up class. Now we do have the kiosks available if they're wanting to come up and actually just be able to say, hey, I want this ticket, don't want to speak to a person, and I just want to go ahead and experience this. They can do that. We have turnstiles, we have ticket printers, we have wristband printers, we have the barcodes, and then we also have the Q code scanners. So QR scanners. All of that is something that these ticketing establishments are going to want, and we can offer all of that all in one package. And any integration that's needed with the open API, we can definitely provide that. But there's already partners that we're working with that have a lot of things for them. That's going to make it seem like it's all wrapped up in a bow for them. So going into a little bit of the ticketing as well, when I'm saying that online ticketing and e-commerce integration, one, with WooCommerce, they're definitely able to go ahead and create an online establishment for that and just go ahead and make sure that integration is seamless. Any ticket that's bought online can definitely be pulled up on the front point of sale. But outside of that, if they do already have an e-commerce site, we can still connect that through a plugin. And all of those pricings are going to still be the same. The ticket numbers can still be pulled up. If there's an email that's being sent to this customer, they can still pull that up and just go ahead and walk with the turnstile and say, hey, I'm experiencing this, don't want to meet with anyone. They definitely can do that too. The verticals, like I was speaking of, this is something when it comes to the bigger locations that you're definitely able to speak on. This is always going to be a conversation starter. What all are you selling in your establishment? Do you have a water park? Are you selling gift shops? Are you selling separate experiences? Are you having, birthday parties here? Are you having conventions here? All of that is something that our system can manage and they're able to have one hub with. So this is always good to start the conversation with as well. Also, it's cloud-based. Excuse me, guys. It's cloud-based. I would say a lot of the competitors that we have, they're not cloud-based. It's something to where they're only focused on the ticketing part of it. And with that, they have to wait until the end of the day to actually see how many tickets were sold. That's not the case. We're able to set up all the gate entries for them to where they're able to see, okay, at lunchtime we had 10 people come into this experience because there's a gate entry here. We're able to say that 20 people came up to the cash wrap to actually get some tickets. That was this amount here. They're able to pull real time results and real time ticket entries. And if anything needs to be changed on the back end, they see one day it's a lot more busier and they need to change the admission processes to a ticket, they definitely can go into the back office and do that. And then, like I said, the conversation starter is always going to be the hardware. What do you guys need? What are you guys trying to change? Are you guys trying to have a self checkout? Are you guys trying to have turnstiles? Are you guys wanting to move to QR codes or do you guys not have wristbands? It's always great to start that with the ticketing space. Okay. And then outside of us being payment processing agnostic, a lot of ticketing spaces want to have flexibility with that. They want to be able to add any type of pricing or any type of gift cards to a wristband. So if their kids are coming in for a field trip, they want to be able to say, hey, they're coming in with the entry, but they also have parents that are uploading $20 onto this wristband so that they can go into either the gift shop or they can go get lunch. We're giving them that option, whether it's either a wristband or a ticket, or if they just want that QR to where if a kid does have a phone, they can pull that out to say, hey, I have $20 on here. Can I have something to eat outside of actually being entered into that establishment as well too? So all of these are great conversation starters to speak with these people. Honestly, for me, I would say the ticketing space has a lot more money for payment processing than a lot of people know, just because it's bigger establishments. These ticket prices are starting at $70, $80, and you're having families of four or five come in. And then if it's an establishment to where schools are, visiting, that's a whole nother type of customer as well. These ticket prices are a lot more steeper than just, a liquor store with a bottle of wine or something like that. The ticketing space is definitely taking off, and we're right here with you guys to make sure that this establishment or any establishment can definitely go off as well and upgrade their company. Okay. Also, with that, they're definitely able to have membership and loyalties, and we focus on this with the schools. A lot of schools like to take field trips or even summer programs, so they're able to provide them with the different promotions or different buy two get one free, or kids under 10 get $5 off. We're definitely able to go ahead and implement that, and everyone in the establishment is not going to have to remember that, or there's no ID that needs to come out. It's just something that they can go ahead and implement in the system. And even with the inventory management, if they do have different establishments within their park, if they have a gift shop, if they have a food service, if it's quick service, we can definitely help with that too. It's still something that can be managed in one back office, and they do not have to feel like they're going into too many different systems to manage one thing. With this, you can also have employee management. It's going to definitely be similar to all the other industries that we're in. But when it comes to the ticketing space, you're going to have a lot more hands in the pot than just having a business owner. You're going to have people dealing with just inventory. You're going to have people dealing with turnstiles, people dealing with different gift cards or whatever the case may be. All of that employee management is going to be a lot more in depth for ticketing spaces than it is for any of the other establishments that you have. And with that, the product reporting that comes with that is a lot more in depth for these ticketing spaces. Even though we have 50 to 70 different reports, the ticketing space is going to be one that actually uses every single report that we have, whether it be looking at the gate entries, whether it be looking at the ticket details, who's selling what, when was something sold, when are events happening. All of that is something that the back office is going to be able to provide for them real time. And then based off of them having an e-commerce site as well too, all of that reports are going to be real time information based off of both um, commerce interactions, whether it's in the store or in the park or online. So it's something that you're definitely going to be able to speak to them about. And then also with that, when I say we're a lot cheaper, I would say the grandfather companies definitely do have some hidden fees for them or some surcharges or even penalties. A lot of these parks are seasonal. So we're going to allow them to have our system for the seasons that are needed. There's still no contracts involved. So if they are on for a season and they're using us for 4 months and then next season they're closed, they can still come back the next season and everything that they have implemented in our system is still going to be there. We're not going to charge them for a startup fee again or a renewal fee. It's just once they're ready and once their establishment is together, we can go ahead and still help them the same way. And then with that, the customer support for ticketing is a lot different when it comes to liquor stores or vape shops. Our technical support here, we're going to help them actually establish their ticket details and actually let them know what ticketing is going to be best for them. We do have an online site as well called ticket.events that's going to help them with any scheduling if needed. So if they do have, those schools coming in there, or if they're having birthday parties or anything like that, they're able to also have an e-commerce site that's going to provide them all of the scheduling details that are needed. So personally for me, when it comes to actually having an all-in-one wrapped in a bow system, our system is that for the ticketing space. No one can go against that. All the integrations that we have when it comes to Be Loyal, QuickBooks Online, anything e-commerce, the scheduling, the ticketing space cannot go wrong with going with Corona. Okay. All righty, guys. So that is all the information that I have to give out to you today. I will give you guys the floor to let me know if you do have any questions. If you want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into these industries, go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are. If you guys don't have any questions, or if you do have more questions, just go ahead and type into the chat box as well. If you guys can't unmute yourself, I would definitely love to hear some of your guys' input and feedback, give you as much more information as needed. I do see one in the chat box. Is Corona capable with Uber Eats, Grubhub, etc.? So with City Hive bottle caps and Drizzly, we definitely can provide that to any of the liquor store spaces. However, it's not going to be something that's directly integrated yet. And we only do that just simply because we're not in the restaurant space. So we're not dealing with any full service restaurants where if you're sitting down or making any type of orders that do need to go to the kitchen, we just don't serve that space. So Uber Eats, DoorDash, and things like that is not on our roadmap to actually connect with. But through our partners, customers still have the option to go ahead and make that connection. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys did get enough information from me. Honestly, all of these flicks are going to be located in our resource drive. I'm always going to push that for you guys because it's something great for you to take to your customers. It looks very professional, it's very tangible for them to have. I am creating booklets for you guys so that I can send out to find resellers to go ahead and be able to take a booklet to the customers when you're having these conversations and flip through these marketing splits. Everything that you see in the resource drive will also be in these booklets for you guys to feel a little bit more comfortable with speaking to. I do have a question. How many liquor stores would you say you currently help now? Honestly, liquor stores are about 75% of our customer base. We have about 30 to 40,000 companies that we're helping right now. And I would say about 20 to 25,000 of that is something that our liquor stores and wineries are. So liquor stores and wineries are the meat and potatoes of our customer base. However, the ticketing space is definitely coming in there and kind of competing with those customers as well. Of course. You guys have any other questions? And also speaking with the customer base, one thing that you guys are also able to utilize is our website. We do have a counter on there based off of transactions through our system, businesses that we've helped, and customers as well. So anytime a customer does ask you for that, you definitely are able to pull that up and show them, hey, Corona, even though it's not as big as Clover, of course, we're definitely still competing because there's a lot of customers that they can definitely reach out to and kind of see whether they're going into those locations or if they just want to see a counter that's on there for you guys. Alrighty, guys. Well, I definitely appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys coming in and actually learning a little bit more. Please, please, please use that resource drive. I would love any feedback based off of our meeting today. If you guys have any feedback about more information that you would like to see in the resource drive, I would definitely appreciate it. But other than that, we do have 5 minutes to spare, so I'll go ahead and let you guys go. I hope you guys have a great day. I have sunshine here in Las Vegas, so I'm definitely providing good weather energy to you guys as well. So have a good one. I appreciate it.